Let's see. What's up, Lori? What's up, Donnell? So today, top mover that I see on the scans is MLGO up 92%, 8 million shares traded. I do have a couple of things to go over for this week. It's a midweek checkup, Wednesday hump day. So let's go ahead and we'll take a brief look at MLGO, and then we'll go into the other stuff and then come back to it. So let's go and see what kind of news is on this thing. MLGO says it's announced plans to establish a practice base to train graduate students from the university. That's their news. So they're doing scientific research projects and all these things, and pretty much just a training ground for new graduates. I don't know how positive or negatively that will be accepted today, but it's always interesting to see how people feel about it once the market opens. Okay, so that was a brief look at that. That's the biggest move that I see right now. As for the other two things that I had up here on the watch list, BMEA and EYPT, these were my previous trades from this week and last week. They both did pretty good. One of them did way better than I thought after I got out, but sometimes that's how it goes. But yeah, let's look at those real quick. So the first one, BMEA. We'll jump over here to the other chart. I had mapped out level here right around, on this one, it was like right around the 18 level. We're watching it during the day. I was like, man, BMEA is looking kind of, or not 18. I got my marks right here. I'm thinking about the other one, EYPT. But yeah, BMEA, I had got into this thing when it had curled down here. And let me zoom back just a little bit. It had curled right here in this 14 area. And I noticed that it had a couple gaps in pre-market. And I was like, man, is it really going to be able to fill all of these gaps? It had like 1, 2, 3, multiple gaps in pre-market. I was like, that's just some weird trading. So when it came down and swung low into the 14s, actually took the trade from like 14 up here to 15. Now, the thing is, I day trade, so I wanted to close this position before the day ended. So I closed right up in here around 15 for a nice little profit, right? But the next day, it kept going. So the next day, yeah, it did this little close, came back down into the 14s again, popped all the way into the 16s, and then the next day, guess what it did? From 16 up to $22. And I was like, well, I got my piece out. That's all I needed. I got my green trade where the setup was, but it did continue on. I was looking for something strong that could do this kind of move, and it did it. It just took it a couple days. It did give me the range that I wanted on the day though. The other one is EYPT. EYPT, I took the trade down here. I saw this thing do a double bottom on the 18. On what date was this? On Monday. If I can get it right. Let me make this bigger. Yeah. So this was the double bottom that I saw here. I actually took the trade on this one. It came down, bounced here, and I said, looks like some people are interested there at 18. And I put it in the Discord. I was talking to Danielle about it. I was like, I like this one. This is the one I like. And I had actually talked about it during the stream on Monday that this was the one that I would be watching. And so it came up, tried to get out of here, and came back and tested this level. I started entering around, let me see, my first entry. Let's jump over to the monitor tab for my activity. So my activity, let's see, what date was that? The Monday. So Monday, the 4th and the 4th. Okay. So this was my activity. My first trades on this one. So I started buying around 17, or I bought some around 17.94. Really, and I'll show you the chart that I was, or not the chart, but the Excel doc that I built to kind of try to get the price that I want. But I got some at 1790s, 1790s, all around the 18 is where I was aiming for. 1781, 18. Well, this is where I started buying. 1829, 1829, 1840. Just trying to get down, but I only took small size up here around the 1840s. I took a little bit and it dropped some. So 1840 got in only, what, 20, 40, 60, almost 100 shares right there. And then it dropped down some more. And I added around the 1828s. And it dropped down some more. And I continued to add to this thing all around the 18, right? Now, as you can see, my sales are up here at 1929, right? So 1920s, 19s, really close to 20. I really thought 20 was going to be a big resistance, which it did end up being. And I was like, man, do I want to be greedy and look for a breakthrough 20? Or do I want to just take what I've got and just let it live? So I just chose to let it live. I mean, I realized the profit. But anyway, jumping over to the chart that I was telling y'all about. So this is not really a chart, I guess you could say. Zoom back a little bit. Basically, I'm looking, and I actually put the wrong ticker in here. I was looking at HT. I think that was during the example that I did on the other day. PT. Anyway, put the account value in there. The average expected entry price that I was looking for was 1825. I got a little bit at 1840, got a little bit at 1828, and then I got some underneath this price. The expected risk was 300 bucks, so I never did even get close to that risk. I think I was down like maybe like 50 bucks at the most, so my risk never did get even close to that. If I were to just go all in, I could have taken 383 shares, but I just put a custom share size. I only got 300 shares and let it roll. And then I was looking for the stop out, right? Where to put my stop. So that's what this calculation is from down here. 1747, 1725 was about where I was trying to get out. And if we look at the chart, where's my chart? If we look at the chart here, 1725, this was the calculated from the Excel. This is the actual what the chart looks like. 1732. So right below this long wick here would have got me out. And I was okay with that. I had my risk managed. I said, hey, I'm gonna get in around here. If it holds this level, it looks like it'll be an okay trade, right? And then of course the scoring, I put the notes in here. Obvious catalyst. What was the catalyst? It was an iPharma with multiple pharma stocks running. So I gave that score a 2 because I mean it had reason to move and it had others in the same sector moving. Obvious support. Now this support zone I had put on the chart on Monday as well. It should be down here. Yeah, this support zone, all of this buying pressure. I really did not want to see it re-enter this zone, and it did not. It got close, showed buying right above this zone at 1725 and popped back up here. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe this zone is a level of possible support. And we can see in aftermarket the same thing. Got almost to that zone and popped back up. So yeah, gave that a grade of 2 as the obvious support that it was holding. Breakout on the monthly. I mean, obvious trend. What was the trend, up or down? The trend was trending up, but on the daily chart, it looks like it gives back profit sometimes. The RVOL that we were looking for, or that I was looking for, was 2x. It was actually 30 times the normal volume. And then on the relative standard deviation, I was looking for two deviations. It was actually 7 times above where it needed to be there. So I gave both of those twos. The only thing that I wasn't sure about was this trend because it gives back profit. So I gave that a 1. It was kind of like a maybe. But overall, it came out with a score of 90. And of course, anything that is 60 to 99, I'm just going to reduce size, which I did, taking the 300 shares instead of the max size. If it's 100%, I'm going full size. If it's under, 60%, because I'm 60-40 on my accuracy in trading. So I'm like, if it's under 60%, that's just going to be too weak for me. I want to see it over 60% so I can, possibly get the move that I'm looking for. But yeah, that's the chart. And we can actually pull up my journal here, my trade journal, TraderSync. So on this. All right, so this is what I'm looking at like right now. 59% win, 40 loss. This is the trade that I took, $335. I got $1.12 per share on those 300 shares. So I was like, I'll take it, you know. But yeah, and the thing is, I've only taken 83 trades this year. So most of the trades were not using this strategy. Most of them I wasn't finding obvious support, wasn't finding anything that really made sense. I was just like, maybe this is support, but I really wasn't looking back in the charts and finding that support and building a plan around that. So I've only been using this strategy since like August. So um, let me see. If I go to my calendar, this is what I was looking at. So this was October, August. I had some big drawdowns because I had no real. The risk was what killed me on August. This loss killed me. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, I started using this. I started taking less trades. This month, I kind of sat back and I watched the market for the most part on September. I was like, yeah, let me just watch it and see what it's doing. Kind of try to formulate something to go against this thing. And then in October, I started to actually take trades and try this new strategy. But my confidence was not in the trade, so, or not in the process. So a lot of times I'll put it at break even. It will come and stop me out. I put my stops right above break even, and I will make pretty okay money. But I'll get stopped out on some things that I was just kind of like, is this gonna hold? Maybe it's gonna hold, and fear came in. Then on the next month, November, I only took 3 trades. This trade was a foolish trade on Dick's Sporting Goods. It's a higher cap. Should have swung that one instead of just trying to day trade it. But the other 2 trades are green. And now this month, I only took 1 trade, which is the 335 there, and just looking for some strength in the market again. But yeah, that's how the months are going, and we're closing up. And after this year or next year, I probably won't need to use these because we switched over. So we switched over from Charles Schwab on, I forgot what month that was that I switched over, but I believe I started trading in TD Ameritrade in November, December. So 4 trades in, 3 green, 1 red, and this one didn't even meet the criteria. So I'm not even worried about that. That should have never happened, but it did. So, but it was a good learning experience about how to mess with those large caps. But yeah, that's pretty much the trades for this month. Let's jump back over to what we got on MLGO. Yeah, Lori, I've been trying. After busting my lip and running to all these brick walls, I'm like, bro, I just need to calm down and figure out what is going on. Why? What is going on with me? Am I a drunk trader? That was my question. Am I trading drunk? And what can I do to medicate my impairment? Because a lot of days I was like, man, this this has a good idea, but it was missing something else. Maybe it was missing the range. Maybe it was missing the relative volume. Maybe it was missing. I mean, it could be missing a lot. And I just taking all these things into consideration before the trade has helped exponentially. Because I'm the same person. I have the same fears. When I enter the trade, my chest is still pumping, like jumping out of my heart's jumping out of my chest. But because I have the statistics, it makes me calm down. I'm like, okay, 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 okay. Listen, this is not death. This you plan for this. All right, so MGLO. Let's actually look at the daily charts and the higher time frames on MGLO. So looking out here, we see MGLO has been getting beat up a lot. Has a point up here, what is 1023. Got pushed all the way back down to 365 on the monthly. Jump over to the weekly. Weekly, we can see had a little bit of body around 481 and 522. Okay. Let's go to the daily chart. See what we can see over here. Had a gap, couple of gap areas. What is this? 460, 458 to 437. That's not the greatest gap. I don't know if anybody would be interested in that. Let's jump to the 4-hour chart. 4-hour, we got a nice little zone up here between the 479s and the 562s, and I'm thinking this zone may be a little bit of resistance. So let's see. We will put this zone in. And let me change this to, I'm thinking it's going to be a little bit of resistance there. All right, and plus we can look back on the charts 4-hour all the way back here. I could have put another one. Fell from this level before. So looking like some resistance back there. All right. If we look up here on the weekly chart, you can kind of see the larger time frames of the resistance that I'm looking at. I just like things to be obvious, you know. I don't want to be hunting for resistance. Oh, is this resistance? There's definitely resistance there. And if we look back on the monthly, we can see every time it's falling through this point. So, you know, I'll just be mindful of where the resistance is. But anyway, that's who is this messaging me? Ticket. Ticket. Okay. All right, I'll get to that. But yeah. Let's see if this is actual resistance or will buyers come in and buy this thing through this resistance level. Now remember, the catalyst was that they're training graduate students. I mean, I guess education based. I really don't trade a lot of education based catalysts, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know how y'all's history with education catalysts is, but mine is irrelevant. All right, so let me get rid of EYPT. I'm done trading that one. I'll wait for the next thing that's gonna come up big. Oh, also, I think one of these did a offering. I forgot if it was BEA or EYPT. One of them did an offering. I think it was EYPT did an offering. They did an offering at 17 bucks, so I'm not expecting that thing to come back up anytime soon. Offering of 11.8 million shares to fund the macular degeneration. So this big move that they made all the way up to $22, they're taking profit. They're taking a lot of profit back down to 17. So I'm like, I don't think that thing's gonna do anything else. So I just left it alone. Looking for that strength. All right, back over to MLGO. Let me see if anything else has popped on the scans. Not really. Nothing with ATR that I like. Usually, I mean, to just start seeing the ticker, I would like the ATR to be like 20 cents. That's kind of like the minimum because anything below that, you know, those dollar stocks and all of that stuff, they give like 2 cent ATR. And, you know, ATR is a big part of my plan to get those payouts. That average true range. Can I get paid $1? Because if we look on that on the chart we were looking at before in my journal, you can see that the actual gain there, I mean $1.12, bro, that's a lot. Like sizing up, because I only had 300 shares, and then the other one was 50 cents, which is still not bad, right? The other winner was 48 cents, right around that 50 cent level. This one was $1.18. So I'm like, I think I'm picking the right place to pay out. All I need to do is scale up as I go, and I think I'll be all right. You know, 50 to 40 cents. The usually the minimum is like maybe a 30 cent winner or something like that, but most of these have been 50 to 40 cents or up to $1 per share. MLGO coming on down. We'll see what happens at the open. We have about 8 minutes to the bell on MLGO. If y'all see anything else that's interesting to y'all can drop it in the chat. We'll check it out. But MLGO is pretty much a lone wolf, just like yesterday was CMND, I believe was the stock of yesterday. CMND. Yeah, this one. This one traded around, and I saw this resistance here, this 540 resistance. The reason that I put that in there was there was a area that I saw. Oh, right here. So this big push down on CMND last time it got here back to the 545s. I put that as possible it will become resistance, and it actually did. It actually pushed right on back through there and went on down, and you know, people probably got burned, especially people that tried to buy a double bottom on this one. This one did not have the catalyst to entice buyers into this. So it came down, bottomed once at that 542, came down and just fell through all the way from 530s back down here to the 420s. Straight on in there. But man, I'm telling you, man, this practice of patience is actually pretty good for me. I don't want to be stressed out all the time. I don't want to make new wrinkles just because I'm trading. Be out here stressed. Give up youth. So if I was a short today, I would definitely be aiming for MLGO at this resistance level up here if it comes back, or maybe it won't come back. It also has a pre-market little level here, but I don't know how consistent that is. Oh no, I can see it over here on the hour chart. This 425 level that it's come down to or through now. But as far as the lower the larger picture, you know, let's see what it wants to do. Why won't this come over? Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to see, man. We got 4 minutes or almost 5 minutes left to the bell. We're below that 425 level. Let's see if buyers come in and give shorts a great setup here. Wednesday hump day. Sometimes when it gets too late in the day and I see something good, I'm like, man, like when it's like 12 o'clock and then something comes up on my scan that I would like, I'm like, do I want to take this trade or do I want to give it a little bit of time for people to kind of circulate news on it? But when they're moving in the pre-market and then they come down, it's a lot easier because most of the moves happen before lunchtime. Lori says looks like Sarah is going to 7 today. Let's look at that. Yes. Okay. I see it. Let's see. 152%. The ATR is 16 cents right now. It gets a little bit more ATR. It'll probably pop up on my scans, but it wasn't there yet. So, what is the news on this one? Sarah Prognostics Sarah Prognostics announces primary endpoint criteria met in pivotal prime study interim look. Enrollment to stop due to success. Okay. So it's effective. Whatever they're doing is effective. Let's jump over here to this and see what Sierra is up to. SERA Prognostics. Sierra Prognostics, a women's health diagnostic company, discovers, develops, and commercializes biomarker tests for improving pregnancy outcomes. The company develops pre-TRM tests and blood-based biomarker tests to predict, or no, a blood-based biomarker test to predict the risk of spontaneous preterm birth in singleton pregnancies. Okay. So working around birth, working around see, just gestational diabetes, fetal growth restrictions, stillborn, postpartum depression. The company was incorporated in 2008 and is headquartered in Salt Lake City, Utah. We'll see how that goes. It'll be popping up in a little bit if it continues to march up. Oh, I didn't check the float. My fault. Float of this one. Statistics. We got a float of 20.19 million. So very low float. Insiders are holding 15%. Institutions holding 54%. Let's actually look at the charts on this one. On the monthly chart, you see it's been getting beat down. Come down here to this one. But now it's at 5. So it's up around. So it's above this level right here. Previous like $4 level. So we'll put this as blue. This will be probably the line in the sand for most folks. I want a darker blue. Okay. All right, so we got blue. This is the previous area left, and then we got up here to $5. What was the high on this one? 583. So right under this 5, right under the 6. Okay. So we'll see if what $6 becomes. And yeah, let's look into the weekly. And then on the daily, pretty much the same thing on every one of them. That $4 breakdown probably be lying in the sand for most folks. But it does have room down here. If we look, if people aren't looking at this chart and they're just, oh, we opened up. All right. Back over to the main, looking at CERA. CERA ATR has now jumped up to 37%. So now it's up there. I guess I had to recalculate on open. But yeah, looking good there. Let's see, does it want to quickly, now if it quickly dips down here to 4, it may be bought back up. But this thing looks like it's about to be a war zone. MLGO also moving. Coming up here, we got our resistance. Let's find the resistance on SCR or support. So it is up here into this mid level right here, trying to break back over these levels. Let's look at the 4-hour. Yeah. So this line right here, I want to oh, got the wrong drawing tool. All right. So 3, that will take out the whole day. That will make it red on the day. It's pushing on up here, 602 to this 602 level. Trying to get out of there. Can it get back up to 583 is the question. Jumping back over here, making a little bit lower high here under the 583s. We'll see what happens. Yep, now it's on all of my charts. CEARA. Also see one called V or ZVSA as well. What is this one? Therapeutics announce showing aim to publication. This is just a publication. I ain't worried about that. MLGO continuing downward towards this 365. See, Sarah looks like it's taking the day. 12 million shares traded on it. $583s. Got up to the fives. Got up to the 570s on that last one. Back down to the 550s. I don't know. Maybe people will be interested around this zone between the 4 and the 3. Maybe we'll see. I put this as support instead of a line in the sand. This will be a line in the sand. If it breaks down 3, it's over with. Wait, is there 2 price levels here? Okay. There we go. All right, so possible support and then line in the sand at $3. Continue to struggle to get those 570s, but looks like it's pushing. If we look over here on the time and sales, we can see those 60s coming through, 50s. We need to see more 60s. It needs to crawl up the 60 level, to be honest. It's kind of popping back and forth, but it does have a lot of volume behind it. Right now, its RVOL, its relative volume is 700 times. 700 times its normal volume. I'm looking over here on my RVOL calculator here. And then on the relative volume, we can see it's 7 times the standard deviation, or 7 deviations out from the norm. The only thing that is missing here for me is the ATR, is the range. Can it pay me $1? Same thing with all 3 of these, actually. ATR is just too low. This one, relative standard deviation, it's not abnormal enough. All right, Sarah coming on down there. Coming on down to the fives, snatching down there. Was that news catalyst good enough to make them buy it back up though? Let me see. Sarah prognosis. Because I know they're doing birth, but it's not breast cancer. Breast cancer, it just gets a different reaction. Like it gets dangerous out here. We'll see though. It went down there and tested the five and popped back up. That's a little bit of show of strength there. This candle still has 10 minutes until it closes this 15-minute candle. Low around the 5 right now of this candle. Let's see. Another one popped in. KMDA. What is this one? Trash. Announces a binding for announces binding MO. Well, that means nothing to me. That's not gonna stay on the scans long. MLGO coming on down to that 365 level. All right, so if this thing can start making 70s again, it may make a push for this $6. Looking at 550s, continuing to roll through. Let's see if they can continue. Well, got a little lunch down. Needs to hold those 550s. Back down to the fives. So this is the second candle where it's ending to the low point. This candle right here during pre-market also ended towards the low side. So will it be able to hold out of the body of this candle? This what, 4 right at $5 is what they're trying to do. Continues to pop back up though. Will shorts get nervous? Like right now, if I was a short, I would be completely comfortable as long as it doesn't break 583. That would be my stop or where I would cover. But if it continues to act like this and it ramps through there, like Lori said, this thing tries to go to 7, it may get real bad for the shorts real quick. We continue to see it hold up those 525s. Those shorts get more and more like, is this thing gonna break back up? That's what will be going through my head right now. Why is this thing taking so long to dump? Continue to hold up that 5. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think the shorts are gonna get blown back right now. Right. While that's figuring out what it wants to do, if you're trading that one, be careful and keep your head on the swivel. Looks like it's just trying to stay above 5. Jump over here to the SPY real. Oh, SPY big drop down on that one. NQ probably got the same type of deal. NQ big red, dropping from almost 16,000 down here. Wow, what in the world? Bro, look at these charts. NQ, complete engulfing candle, coming back down out of this level of what looks like some type of resistance up here. Interesting on the day. Let's jump over back to the SPY. SPY with that same kind of sentiment. Doesn't completely look like it's broken down, but does look like it is finding some type of resistance there at the 460s. QQQ. Same move coming down. TQQ. Same move. Wasn't there a SQQ? Where's my SQQ? SQQ on its way up. Doing the exact same. So that's an inverse of those other ones. On the way up. Okay. If we look over here on oil, continue. I'm so glad I got out of oil. Oh my gosh. I can't tell y'all how happy I am with that decision. Tesla. Oh yes. Keep going, Tesla. Just keep pushing them up. Love it. EYPT. Wait, why is this still in here? BME. I don't want this. Okay. So we looked around there. Let's jump back over to the main. Still right at the fives. I really don't know what to say about Sarah. It's holding up. Shorts just don't have enough to push it through. Push it down. They should not take this long to break down the $5 level, but that could be completely wrong. Sometimes it does take a longer time. Maybe it just goes stagnant and then dumps or explodes. I don't know. But I do know one thing. If shorts are in this and they're getting trapped here, it's going to be bad over that $6. Real bad. Lori says Sarah is a buy at 420 to 450. It may come down there. Let's see. It continues to just pop right back over the fives though. That's insane. Like just drop, bro. Just give up. Okay. MLGO did end up breaking on down under the $4. Looking over here, let's see what else. Did anything else pop up? Not really. Nothing else looks like it's popped up. Jumping over here to the scans. What is S? Sentinel 1. What is Sentinel 1? Where have I heard that from before? Sentinel 1. Alt. ZVSA. Let me throw some of these over here so I can look at them. Alt and Sentinel 1. I've heard of Sentinel 1 from somewhere before. I may just be tripping. Sentinel 1. Is that IT? Yep, okay. Technology, software infrastructure. Sentinel 1. Sentinel 1, yep, cybersecurity. Operates as a cybersecurity provider in the United States and internationally. Its singularity extended detection and response platform delivers an artificial intelligence powered autonomous threat prevention. Yeah. It's really good. Everybody uses that. I was like, wait a minute, Sentinel 1. That sounds like that's something that I've seen. Okay. Does it pay a dividend though? Is the question. That's all I care about. Let me see. Sentinel 1 technology. Do you pay a dividend? Okay. I'm not mad. I'm just frustrated. All right, Sarah. Oh my goodness, it threw a wick down there. Wick all the way to $4. Almost to that support level that I put in, but wow. Big indecision here. I don't know which way it wants to go. This is a very dangerous looking candle here. Lori says it's going down. It has almost 200K short availability. Oh, man. Maybe. I don't know, man. This feels like a short trap. It should not be holding 5 like this. But this wick here is super dangerous because, I mean, if you were to buy here, it could pop either way on you. And this wick covered from 6 down to 414. So, yeah, it's too much indecision for me. I'm like, nah, I'm good. And if we look on the daily charts and the monthly charts, it hit right there on this previous top. and it's finding that resistance. So my question is, how long will it be before it's at $4? Back to this previous trading level at 4. I think $4, if you were going to take the trade, $4 would be better than anything up here. But that wouldn't be a trade that I would take without like practice. Buy at 4 and end up back at $1. Look at this daily chart though. Daily chart just big, I don't know. Big, I don't know there. Alt threw a wick up there as well. I really don't like alt all that much. Yeah, you're not good. Sentinel 1 is very interesting that it's going up. If it had a dividend, I would definitely buy Sentinel 1. But I don't really care. I buy it at a higher price once it, if it ever gives a dividend. Which this so the top two that we have to watch is MLGO. Continue to just hold around this. I think it's gonna end up breaking down, and then Sarah continue to trap. I think this is a short trap. I'm telling you, I don't know why, but it feels like a short trap. Like if I was a short, I'd be like, bro, please don't break $6. Please don't break it. Because there is high short availability. There's more room for shorts that don't know what they're doing to get into it. So I don't know, man. It just seems like a storm. And then when it's talking about maternity and birth and all that, I don't know, man. That don't seem safe, bro, to be shortened. That's a lot of ifs. Thing you end up taking your shoes off. Yeah. This isn't looking good for the shorts. I don't like the way this is setting up. Got bought all the way from this drop all the way back up here to 5 again after struggling over the 5 multiple times. But then again, this is why we kind of let the first candles of the day play out so we can get a better analysis of what's going on. Because if you were trading in this first 15 minutes, you got wrecked, short and long side. Yeah. Yep, nothing has popped up on the scan that I usually trade from yet, so just kind of watching the market go by for now, looking for those nice solid trades, some nice ATR. But it's all about patience. Sometimes I see them like 3 days in a row, and then sometimes it's like one, and then it'll be one next week, then it'll be one the next week. So it is boring, but it works. So it's like, do I want to be profitable or not? Coming back up to the 530s. Man, if this thing cracks over 550, the shorts are in trouble, bro. MLGO going up, Lori says. MLGO threw a little wick up there above the 4. Found some more, a little bit of more resistance up there. Back down under the 4. So maybe it won't do a return test. I mean, maybe if Sarah wasn't taking all of the looks today, because Sarah is 1,000. Look over here on the scan. So Arval, 1,000, 1,300 times regular volume is what Sarah's at right now. That's insane. That is Somebody's about to get hurt. If the shorts are on this and it is a short squeeze, they're gonna get hurt bad. On Sarah, where is it? They're gonna get hurt bad on this one. KMDA. What if this thing halts above $6 though? It just breaks 6 and halts up. Absolute craziness. Tell you one thing, it's gonna be hard for it to make another low down here at 412 when it continues to get attention up here at $5. Somebody is interested at this thing around 5, and it seems like they're gathering. Let's see what the big, oh, that was a really big, let's see. 2,000 shares there at 526. 2,000 shares, 526. Somebody's collecting around 525, looks like. All of these orders going through 525, 524s. Yeah, they're definitely collecting. Well, hopefully the shorts do not chicken out. All right. Hmm. All right. I just am looking at this daily chart. I'm wondering, like, if you are short, if this thing flips under 499 again, it may give a move down. But it's almost a direct 50-50 play to take this trade. It could do either one, but it's got to hold up that 5. Got to hold up that 5. Yeah, it's approaching 550s, going on up. Let's see if we can hold 550s up here. 543s, 547. kind of feels like it's dumb money in here for real. Like it's no, like if algos are coming in with big money, you see those clear pushes. But this is like chop. This is like coming up, looking around, going down. It's like a lot of hopes and dreams in here. No fluid motion. Right now, a volume of 28 million on this one, up to 1,400 times its normal volume. Anyway, I got about 4 minutes left on the stream. Of course, I'm not gonna watch this thing all day. I mean, it's not something that I would trade. But yeah, just doing some analysis of how to kind of look at this and try not to get your back blown out. But the thing is, and this is why shorting is so dangerous. When those levels, those unexpected levels break, your loss can get ridiculous so fast. And then holding the short position, you have to pay to hold a position. So it's like you getting taxed 2 or 3 times. You get taxed because you lost. You get taxed because you continue to hold and had to pay premium to hold those shares. It's just not. It's not a good look when it goes against you. And I think a lot of fear is at that $6 level though. But we know that breakouts usually fail. So it may test the 6 and then come back down and then actually start going once it gets a good test of 6. Okay. All right. Well, I'm pretty much done watching this. If it goes, oh well. We'll probably talk about it in the Discord if anybody takes trace on this thing. Definitely keep your head on a swivel. I wish you much luck if you are trying to trade this. Hopefully you have a backup plan, have some good risk analysis because we saw this thing throw a quick wick, and a lot of those wicks jump over stops. So you have a hard stop in there, it may not even get hit automatically. That thing jumps clean through the stop, and then you get filled when it gets to the bottom. So I would just say keep your head on a swivel, whether you're short or long. And I'm thinking it can get to 6, but that's just an opinion. That's really based on what it's looking like on the daily and all of that stuff. But I'm just not sure. I'm just not sure right now. Anyway, that is it for me today. I will be back on Friday. If I take any trades in between those, I will let you guys know in the Discord what I'm looking at before I take the trade, and then just kind of like the plan, like, is this stupid or not? But either way it goes, I'm gonna take the trade because I got the stats, so I don't really. Is it stupid or not? Some people say it's stupid, but then they see it take off and they're like, "Yep, that worked." All right. So it closed towards the top of this green candle. And we know that breakouts most of the time fail. So let's see. Oh man, no, I gotta get to this meeting. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. Yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. I'll be back Friday. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.